Take it in, but don't look down. 'Cause I'm on top of the world, eh? I'm on top of the world, eh? Been waiting on this for a while now. Paying my dues to the dirt. I've been waiting to smile, eh? Been holding it in for a while, eh? Take you with me if I can. Been dreaming of this since a child.
You wanna wait for the camera?
We arrived in Belfast, and shortly after getting settled in our accommodations, were greeted by Dr. Brian Cummins and his intern Stephanie. The plan was to take us into the Sandy Row neighbourhood, home to the children we would be working with the next day.
We weren't sure what to expect. We knew it was an underprivileged area in Belfast, deeply affected by the troubles the whole of Northern Ireland had seen. There were strong images of Unionist and British pride greeting us at every turn. Some were positive, showing images of heritage.
Others, the ones that caught us off guard, were the grim paramilitary depictions of mass gunmen, scars of the past that lingered with a haunting presence. Seeing these images on our walk to the primary school made it impossible not to ask ourselves how seeing something like this daily would affect a child's life.
The seed of hope has been planted, though, and is slowly being nurtured throughout the city of Belfast. And our goal for the time we had with the children was to bring that hope into greater focus, to show that the world outside of the one they know is tangible and full of possibility for them.
Principal Sharon Lennon welcomed us to Blythefield Primary School to meet the children and the faculty prior to the service day. Upon entering the school lobby, it was immediately clear how the pride displayed around their community influenced their own nationalism.
Granted, we had arrived just after the Diamond Jubilee. Images of the Queen that we had seen in shop windows had been replicated in the children's artwork that was hung proudly on the school walls.
After our visit, we continued to walk through the area, heading back to campus. We found it odd that such an isolated, static community was in close proximity to a thriving downtown area. We came to find that the isolation existed as a result of the cultural and political identity of the people who reside there.
Our second day in Belfast, we were still adjusting to local time, and despite the lingering dark clouds, the morning was bright with anticipation.
It had been decided prior to our arrival that the children of Blythefield will come to Stranmillis campus for our day with them. Sharon had told us that typically the community members rarely ventured far from their neighborhood. Coming to a university campus was an opportunity none of the kids had ever had before.
Merely a half hour before we were to meet the kids in the campus gym, we were shown the classroom made available to us. We had a projector and internet access, two things we had not expected, therefore hadn't planned to use. As a group, we jumped on the opportunity and expanded on our lesson plan.
We used maps to show where we had traveled from in relation to Belfast. We showed pictures of Boston and images of American pop culture in order to relate our culture to theirs. Our idea was to use music and painting as universal forms of expression in order to connect with them, to leave the door open for their ideas and thoughts to be heard and seen.
Collaboration was another value we wanted to impress upon the kids. Our teammate Amanda came up with the unique idea of musical easels. It would work much like musical chairs, except no one at the table would lose a spot. We would play music while they painted, and when the music stopped unexpectedly, the children would also stop what they were painting, move to a new spot near them, then add on to what was already there.
We had been planning for this day months in advance, and though we had a backup plan for our backup plan, we had to be ready to adapt as we went along.
The kids were separated into 3 groups that rotated through different activities over the course of the day. Needless to say, the first group served as a test run. We had to focus on the kids' reactions, more so than how we wanted our lesson plan to work.
Some were hesitant to start painting, unsure of what exactly it was they wanted to create. Others got into the creating aspect right away, but were wary of allowing someone else to add to their art.
We found that the best way to connect with the kids and to make them comfortable was to get right down to the fun of it ourselves. At almost any point during the day, at least one of us had a brush in hand, painting alongside the children. The response was instantaneous. They started to open up more, and once they started chatting with us, there was no stopping them. Energy levels were high, and the creativity was flowing. We started to see the customary pictures of happy faces, houses, flowers, and animals coming to life on the paper. It didn't take long, though, before we noticed some of the Unionist influences also starting to appear.
Some kids used the primary paint colors to cover the paper with thick red, white, and blue stripes, the colors of the flag of Britain. I decided to use this opportunity to show them the similarities between that flag and the American flag. I was able to teach the kids the basic idea of the stars and stripes, and I hoped that this would broaden their perspective and worldview. At one point, they asked how to make orange. I was worried that this was again because of their unionist views. It had turned out, after we taught them to mix yellow and red, that they used the orange to paint the tricolour of the Republic of Ireland. This came as a pleasant surprise, and showed us that their views were already broadening.
Over the course of the day, we realized we got more out of the time with the kids than we could have ever put into a lesson plan. We wrapped up the theme of our activity by giving the kids small gifts that represented our school, Boston, and the USA.
After small group activities were done, we all met back in the gym and closed the day with reflections. The kids were able to share their experiences and thoughts on the day's events. Even in such a large group setting, a great number of them were excited to contribute.
Goodbyes were bittersweet. Bonds had already been created, and we knew we would miss them. The day had been an overwhelming success, and we had hoped that our short blending of cultures opened their minds to greater possibilities for the future.
A few hours after we said goodbye to the children, we were invited by Dr. Heaslett, principal of Stranmillis, to share our reflections with the faculty that made the day possible.
It was a formal dinner, but the mingling of students and faculty created an atmosphere of equality. We felt like fellow teachers, and that our insights were valued.
We had plenty of time to eat and celebrate our success, but the moving speeches given by students and the principals of both schools were the highlight of the night.
Looking back, it became clear that while we faced the challenges, we earned the rewards that teaching can bring.
I'm on top of the world. Hey.